Woo! This is absolutely the best running vintage four-stroke I've ever ridden. This is capable of winning an AHMRA National right out of the box. This is a proven package. This is a Redline racing frame, Honda XL350 motor, bored and stroked and built by the Powroll Racing Factory. This is a national caliber weapon. Rocket Rex Staten rode one of these for Honda in '74 and actually podiumed a national. Guys, boys, this is one of the rarest, most trick early '70s four-strokes that you're ever going to see. And you're not going to see another one come up for sale anytime soon. I don't believe I've seen one of these for sale ever. They usually trade hands in private collections. This is a Redline framed Honda XL350 with a full Powroll 412 motor built by Powroll. It's bored, stroked, just everything's been done on this bike. Back to the frame. Redline was a specialty manufacturer for high performance frames. We just sold the Redline XR75, one of the most desirable frames you could possibly get. One of the most desirable vintage packages you can get is this Redline with the Powroll 412 in it. This thing pulls like a freight train. Just short shift it, front end comes up in every gear. If you can't win a vintage national with this bike, it's not the bike, I can promise you that. This thing hauls the mail, handles like a dream. There's no flex in the frame. The shocks are Olean shocks, modern Olean shocks. The forks are kitted. Stiff springs to match the rear, and there's a look online for Rocket Rex Staten in the Redline Honda racing the nationals. A picture of him hucking one of these about 100 feet off a jump, maybe 30 feet in the air, and like I said, he podiumed the national on one of these. So what a fun bike. In the right conditions, it'll hook up way better than a two-stroke, and it just hauls the mail. The frame is in absolutely pristine condition. It's the original nickel plated coating on the frame. By pristine, I mean, you look at the bottom of the frame rails, there's no dents or damage. There's a couple little dings right here. Dom did race this bike. He won some nationals on this. Yeah, take a look at the frame rails. Point out the condition of the frame rails. Excellent condition. Usually vintage bikes like this have issues on the frames, but the swing arm has the built-in Zerk fitting, so you can grease the swing arm pivot without taking the pivot bolt out. This thing just abounds with trickery. The seat, boys are back. They just went and picked up one of our bikes, so let them pull in here. Back to this bike. Look at the graphics on it. When we had it in the detail shop, Doc heard this run. Doc's our #1 detailer. He nicknamed it the Angry XR. So we had custom graphics made, Angry XR 412. It's got the American Heritage Motorcycle Racing Association emblem on the back, Olean stickers, Redline frame, graphics, the #1. Just a beautiful piece. The pegs are oversized, more modern style pegs. The frame's at the top of the line. Engine's built to the hilt. You can't really do anything else to it. The frame's got the steering stops on there. Just a cool piece. Anything you'd like to add about it, Kenny? It's AHMRA legal. You can race this thing.
You're racing the vintage class, so basically no more than 7 inches travel in the front forks and 4 inches in the rear shocks.
This thing runs so good and pulls so hard. Sorry to interrupt, but I was thinking about Jordan. We were thinking of letting my daughter, who's won 4 championships racing against the boys, campaign this thing this summer. So maybe one of our benefactors will buy this. We wanted to have her race this at the Mid-Ohio Antique or American Heritage Motorcycle Racing Association event. American Historic Motorcycle Racing Association sponsored event. We're going to bring our whole team out there, but I'd love to see her rip this thing. If I'm going to let my daughter ride it, you know this thing's tight. Chain is in brand new conditions. Shocks are awesome Olean shocks. Good tires on it. It's got Michelin tires on the front and rear.
This is one of 2 Powroll 412.
Yeah, we have 2 Powroll 412s. This one's a 74. We have a 75 also.
And these are bikes that we'd really like to keep.
We would love to keep them. You kidding me? I wish I could afford to keep this thing. We just, expenses at the museum are ridiculous. Our heat bill was $7 grand last month, and we have a staff of 16 here. So, unfortunately, this is from the Dominic Cilio collection. Dominic's a multi-time AHMRA champion. He had the Suzuki 125 that he won the championship on. He's won a bunch of races on these bikes, and this thing is ready to rumble. Everything's been done on it. It's tuned to perfection. It's got fresh oil in it. It needs nothing. The brakes are on point, suspension's on point. You take this to the National and win tomorrow. Check this out. I want to point out this feature right here. Check out this this clear plexiglass cover for the timing cover. Just a pretty cool piece for the engine cover. They didn't see it. Well, when I start it up, you'll see how it turns. So enough flapping of the gums. Let me do what is best with this bike, and that's riding it. It's just so much fun. Again, look at the carburetor on this thing, Kenny. Huge Mikuni oversized carburetor, custom intake. The heads are done by Powroll with oversized valves, high performance cam, big bore piston, and a bored cylinder. The crankcase has been, the crankshaft and crank wheels are stroked, so it has a longer stroke and a bigger bore, and it's got a high performance Barnett clutch in it, so the thing just hooks up like crazy. Think about it, the frame alone, if you could even find one of these, minimum $3,500, and maybe substantially more. Then you got to do the custom motor mounts. There's 100 hours worth of labor to build one of these easily, including the engine build plus the parts. The engine build and the frame, you're going to end up dropping in the suspension to buy the parts to build this bike. You're going to drop 10 grand, and then if you had to pay a shop to build it, you know, you're looking at a ridiculous bill. So I'd put the street value at this bike well north of $12,000. I wouldn't be surprised to see it bid up substantially over that, because where are you going to find another one? It's just an extremely rare piece, and it's perfect. It runs like a dime. The levers, it's got the high performance lever mounts. It's got the Magura 314 Duro throttle, heavy duty bars, brand new grips. Levers are perfect. Custom front number plate. I could go on. Every piece on this bike is just abounds with custom trickery. It's cold out. This thing has started first kick for me every time. This is the easiest starting vintage big bore 4-stroke I've ever ridden, bar none. I don't know how he tuned it like this. It starts first kick every time, hot or cold. I'm talking about my daughter racing this thing. She's 14 years old, and this would be a perfect bike for her because it's so easy to ride. It's so much torque. You can just, look at, no throttle, just let the clutch out, and it takes off, and it's got tons of torque. You shift through the gears really fast. Watch this. Listen to this thing. First gear, second, third, fourth, fifth. It's just perfectly like butter. The clutch, Kenny commented, I almost forgot, the clutch is like butter on this thing. Super easy. And this thing would be a lot of fun to just trail ride it. Just for the ultimate play bike. It's fun to ride, reliable. It doesn't, you don't have to rev it up that high so you're not beating on the motor. What a kick-ass bike. Should we take it in the snow and kick up a little snow? I definitely have the best job in the world. Getting to ride these unobtainium vintage bikes that are not only classics, but just extremely rare. Look at this thing. What a machine. Just awesome. so much fun to ride. It's so easy to ride too. Haha! Woo! It's barely over idle and it's got tons of torque. This thing would be a hoot in the sand dunes, I bet you. The thing's got so much torque and horsepower, it doesn't even stress the motor, it just takes right off. Watch it crawl this hill. Crawl up this hill at idle. No problem. Suspension's awesome. The Oline shocks and forks. I've had a back surgery a couple years ago, crashing my new KTM, and this thing doesn't hurt my back at all. You know, I think one of the things I like the best about this bike, one of the things I like a lot about it, in addition to the killer suspension, the forks and the Oline shocks, and these flex-free frame, is the seat. The seat on this thing's huge. Look how much foam is on this seat. Custom, you show them the seat pad. It's a thumper in the back. Just awesome. What a great bike. The seat's got like 6 inches of travel. So thick, the foam. Let's do a third gear hole shot. Ready? Third gear. Like nothing. What a great bike. Just fantastic. Like I said, take this to the Vintage Nationals and clean up. Bring this to Powroll Castle and run it in the 4-stroke class. That would be awesome. That would be a dream. Anybody want to sponsor me to go to Powroll Castle, run the MX designation? I'll run this thing. I'll run the NEMM colors on this bad boy. Well, that's enough. I want to bring her in. I'm gonna leave some snow for the other 4 to 12 to rip up. We have the red one. We have a red version of this. Dom built 2 of these. This one, Dom, is race proven. The other one's brand new. It's got a brand new frame. The other one's same motor, but 0 hours on it. He just finished assembling it. Hasn't raced that one. So. Man, I hope you had as much fun watching this as I did riding it. What an absolute rush. So much fun. What a kick-ass bike. Hey, any bozo can go out and buy a brand new $10,000 KTM 450 or a brand new Honda CRF 450 for 9-10 grand, but you're not going to find another one of these As soon as you buy that new 450, as soon as you roll it out of the box, knock $3,000 off the price. This is a classic that's going to keep on going up in value. So I'm going to bring her in. Give her a quick wash down and park her in the museum. So if you have any questions on it, give us a call. I'm bringing it down to the detail shop and have them clean it up and put it on display. It'll be in the museum. Hopefully whoever buys it wants to leave it here on display. I promise I won't ride it if you buy it unless you say I can. So Kenny, is there anything you'd like to add about this bike? Call us with any questions. 860-454-7024. We can ship this anywhere in the world. Get it to the UK for about 750 bucks. Anywhere in the country for under 7. So don't let the shipping scare you. Good luck bidding on this classic kick-ass machine, and God bless America for building kick-ass bikes like this.